Hi, we're back with the episode The Other Side of Beauty, and I have Chanel, who works in the makeup industry, as well as Crystal, who works with hair, to discuss a whole set of different things, particularly the fight against being slim and the whether or not there's a pressure to be slim where we're from in the Caribbean. Do you think this? What's your opinion on this?
When I was going to school, in secondary school, when I was at Columbia, so like being big was like a big thing. And then like for me, like I still have an issue with my hip where one of my feet are longer than one. So then like, it was big, and I had a leg. So like it was like double whammy for me. When I was like coming out of BCC and going into UV, and they were like, you know, if you want to find a job when you get older, you gotta start losing weight. No, because like, oh, you know, she didn't come right out and say like people don't hire big people, but like that's one of these things that they're gonna look at, the fact that I am big or whatever. And to me, it was like, no, if I can lose weight for myself. No.
What were you, Crystal?
Well, I never had a problem being plus size. I always loved being plus size. It was never a problem for me. Everybody always thought, oh, you look good for a big girl. No, I just always look good.
But why do people say that? Why do people say for a big girl? Why?
Because they think that big girl's supposed to be ugly, I think. Because nothing should be going good for you. I think that's how they think. Like, you're big, it should be ugly. It should be in a corner hiding. But no, I was always out there doing my thing, and everybody would always be like, oh, you always look good. I always had that from primary school. I was always plus size. I wasn't this size, but after my daughter, yes. But for me, I had always like being big.
Did you ever experience a story kind of like Chanel's where somebody would have discriminated against you, or?
I never had that. Never. I never had that. No, I never had someone say to me, oh, you got this weight because, no, I never had that. Like after my daughter, everybody was like, oh, you put on 3 pounds or something like that. But that was it for me. I never had an issue with it.
Barbadians are very cruel. Mm-hmm. Like this society is not nice at all. Mm-hmm. Like if you're out and you're eating, like the person doesn't have to know you. You could be eating a salad. Trust, because of your size, Barbadians are going to find something to say, even in the workplace. No matter like, well, not my workplace, but I know of friends that are plus size that work, and they work in an organization with a lot of women, and like everything that they do, somebody has to comment on something. Oh babe, you eating salad today? Like I'm like, that's something to
you sure you want 2 slices of cake instead of one, or
like,
half a slice?
You sure you want to eat cake at all?
Yeah.
Like, yes, I want to have cake, and I want to have ice cream on top.
Yeah.
Like why is it? I don't understand why others people's choices are people's business.
Yeah.
And I find that is society that we come up in, like where it's like your life is like an open, but like there's always this room for comment from Barbadian society. Like I mean, like random people when they go walking up, oh Lord, you hit her here. Oh, you gotta drop somebody big hair. Like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
My foot is short.
Yeah.
Like that's how I drop weight or not. That's how I'm going to walk. And I mean, there's people that you don't know that you would get comments like that from.
I feel that most of the big girls just coming to grips with, yes, I fat, and like somebody would post a picture on Instagram and they would be like, say I post my picture on Instagram and I hashtag it fat fashion because I think, yeah, I fat, I look good. Mm-hmm. Some people ain't gonna say fat because they ain't comfortable with the word like Chanel. Mm-hmm. But for me, if I put a hashtag fat fashion, I think, yeah, I rock it. You are that. But that's the reason that I would put fat fashion or big girls killing it or anything like that.
Yeah.
That would be it for me.
Yeah.
And most big girls now coming out, like how the gay men coming out the closet. Yeah. Most big girls now coming out the closet the same way.
And stuff, and they look
yes.
good.
So some people can take it different, but for me that's how it is.
I can ask y'all a question now. Have any of you guys ever gone on a date?
Yeah.
But why?
Because I want lots of stuff.
Exactly. Like for me,
I don't want to be slim.
I don't want to be slim, but I could do without some of the cuts, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like, and a little more butt. But like, I mean,
Squats.
You could just.
Yeah.
I could just do something like if I didn't have to like one needle and do all that stuff to get their hair. Like, but like if I got to become running, it could be so fine.
So when you say that, like, which brings me to another point. Would you guys do when you do diets? Do you consider things like diet pills, HCG, etc.?
Not for me, because for me, for me as a big girl, like you already have like health issues. It may not be major, but I try not to do anything like that. I think that diet and exercise is real good for me. Like for me, like Crystal will tell you, we might not walk like a lot of walking, because I ain't a big walking fan. But we would dance the hell away. Like we would go Zumba, we would do anything. Like even if you decide like I ain't joining a program, we can just go and according to your people shell.
Yeah.
You understand? Like
6:30.
that is well 6:20 because I get it. Oh no, I can't go with no day. But like I would go and enjoy myself, like crop over, like I didn't let him miss me. Because to me, like it's not only like going out, but it could be a form of exercise too.
Thank you so much for joining us with this interview. It was always a pleasure talking to both of these wonderful ladies, and we'll be right back.
The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong. Over the years, we've cared for you to help you meet your needs. Trustworthy, dependable, so you can grow financially. The Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. Excellent service, all values strong. Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union. This is where you belong.
Hi, we're here with the talented Kim Angoy, owner of Sugar Apple Swim, and I've known Kim for more than half of my life. And I'm really happy to see the evolution that you've really come about in terms of your life. So let's talk about Sugar Apple Swim. How did it come about? How did you start it? Why did you start it?
Okay. When I was in university, I fell in love with creating patterns, playing with colors and stuff, because you know it is interior design and there are different facets where interior design is concerned, but that's what I realized I loved. And coming up in Barbados as a beach baby, swimsuits was, you know, you can never have enough. And I just thought, you know what, why not go for it, put my interior design knowledge to designing swimwear, and kind of hit the ground running from there.
Lovely. And how old is the business?
How old is the business? That's a funny question. I had samples made about 4 years ago. I just did not have the money to run production. I had one baby and then I had two babies and then my money was gone. So we actually only got off the ground last year. Late last year when we were able to show up Pompasset.
Yeah! What I like about your pieces, they're very, very well made, Kim. They could stand next to international brands. The fit is really, really sexy and comfortable. The quality of the fabric is good. I really, really like it. Did you spend a lot of time working on the fit and the patterns, and do you think that you held yourself to a very high standard?
Absolutely. I used to spend a lot of money on swimwear because I know how I want to feel in my swimsuits.
Accra days.
Accra days, yes. And you know, so from wearing swimsuits so much, I knew that I wanted my fabrics to stretch a certain way. I know that when I put it on, I don't want to see sheer swimsuits. So, you know, I focused on lining, I focused on padding, I focused on branding. And kind of really went from there. It took a long time to get the cuts the way I wanted them, it did. But once we figured it out, you know, it it was just soaring upwards from there.
This is Jessica Reynolds from Artemis. Really cool t-shirt designs. And she also showed at Palm Weekend, and you're going to get a chance to see her collection. Jessica, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us about the collection that you showed at Palm Weekend. The vibe, the feel, the response to it.
Well, the brand itself, the collection I took to Palm Weekend, is sort of the organic evolution of the brand. So first there were the painted designs, and then along came the printed ones. So then there was Hunting Greatness, there was the Lionheart design, and there's also the Barbados design, but I'll get back to that in a minute. So basically what I was trying to show people at Palm Weekend was not only the versatility of the brand in terms of what designs and the kind of aesthetics that I provide, but then also kind of how you could dress it up, because everybody's like, oh well, you know, I don't really wear t-shirts, but I mean, here you are sitting down using a large t-shirt as a dress, and you know, you can actually use it because it's so simple. You can use it to express your personality a lot. How you dress it up or dress it down really depends on you and the kind of look that you're going for. So I just kind of told him I was backstage, just like, just have fun. If you want to wear Converse, wear Converse. If you want to wear boots, wear boots. You know, just how do you want to dress when you go on the catwalk? Because for me, that's kind of what fashion is. Fashion is a facet of self-expression. So I kind of wanted to slip that in a little bit when I went to Palm Weekend as well. And the models were all for it. So yay!
Yeah, of course, it was a great showing. Jessica, I wish you all the best in all that you're doing. Continue to do it. I love the whole concept of the hand painted stuff, and I know that it is only up from here. And thank you so much. Thanks for believing in all that we're doing as well.
And thank you for having me, and all the best in all your endeavors.
Let me just say though, Jessica is also an amazing cartoonist and was the first ever cartoonist for Palm Passat magazine. Is giving you the chance to win 4-paste zone access to Socotology on March 28, 2015. Simply email your receipt with purchase of any Breyers ice cream before March 25th, 2015 to christmas@brydenstokes.com. I came to VIP Studios to be instructed by Sarah Lee on pole dancing as a form of exercise, and I'm totally excited. So I brought my tassels, my boa, and of course my heels. So talk to me about VIP Studios. How long have you guys been in existence?
The studio has been in existence for about 7 years, 6 or 7 years. I personally have been pole dancing for about 5.
Okay.
So the studio is relatively new compared to maybe some of the other studios, but still very comprehensive, and you know, it's all about fun and fitness.
Clearly.
You know, yeah.
I see the pictures on Instagram.
And I think the beautiful thing about pole dancing too, it's not really about how big your muscles are or how slim your waist is, about what you can do.
Yeah.
You know, when you get on the pole, you go upside down and you're like, I can do a handstand, I can go upside down, it's so much fun, you know?
How often do you do it?
Me personally, I do it about 3 times a week. I teach 3 times a week as well. Some girls don't get to do that as much because I have a little bit more access, and it's harder too because some people can't afford all that, especially with crop over coming up and stuff like that.
Okay, so are we ready?
You don't need all of that, Laura.
So what do you like? No feather boas?
No feather boas, no tassels, high heels sometimes, but definitely not a feather boa.
Okay.
I don't wanna love, I don't wanna hate, nothing above, no more mistakes. Rip a page out, I'm screaming loud, feel my heartbeat is in a rage.
So that what you want to do is you almost imagine that you created a little X with your ankle. So this one is your outside leg. You're going to come here, it's going to come here. And this one's going to come here. Okay. Hand nice and high, shoulder engaged. Of course!
Like I'm going under. I just wanna
not trying to say, oh, I'm judging you when you come to class,
yeah.
but you come and you realize, oh, I'm not the only one that has not the voice.
No hard feelings, I'm barely breathing. Please release me from this cage. Now I'm leaving. You do your scheming to find somebody who would really care.
Oh my gosh!
Maybe this isn't a move for you.
Because it was such a hot mess, Sarah's actually going to show y'all how it's really done.
Hi, I'm Sarah Lee from VIP Studios, and you're watching The Toni Thorne Show. Woo!
This week's outfit is by Kate Shepherd, and I'm wearing a beautiful off-white throwover with some lovely tassels at the end and a two-piece from Roxy.
When you know you're doing something that's really annoying, but you keep doing it, it can send me crazy.
Scabby clothes. The one that went Hennessy Artistry, Scabby clothes. Her. Don't let people that she. Like there's more use made, right? I don't like that.
People who don't dress their sizes, people with hair that doesn't suit them, fake people, hypocrites.
Poor customer service. I cannot go into a store where I'm spending my money and those people get on as if, you know what, it's just another dollar, it don't matter. Like, I can't stand that. Don't be a liar. I don't like thieves at all. And I've encountered some really bad experiences with people who steal.
Motion CPR Treatment Conditioner. Ideal for breakage-prone hair, this deep moisturizing treatment instantly strengthens and repairs the hair shaft. Motion CPR Treatment Conditioner will help to restore hair's health and vibrancy with one application. Deeply nourishes the hair with a blend of natural African herbs. For more fabulous product information, visit www.motionshair.com or Bryden Stokes.
People all over are savoring the aromatic goodness of the country's favorite tea. Lipton is your brighter day in every cup. Enjoy the rich, uplifting taste and aroma. Perfect anytime, any place. Lipton Yellow Label. Get the feeling anytime, anywhere. And try our new green tea with superfruit.
Welcome to the Lipton sponsored Tea Time segment. And this last weekend, I went to Divi Resort's Pure Ocean restaurant with a few friends to discuss a few hot topics. I'm joined here by Miss Carly Pipe, who is mother, wife, producer, runner, and overall just an amazing person. Strange Rasta, aka Inam Idrisa, poet, cultural enthusiast, historian, and as I said before, a very strange Rasta. Jeremy Stephen, who is an economist, president of Barbados Economic Society. He lectures in finance at UE, and he's also a fund manager. Thank you so much for joining me, Jeremy.
Hey, pleasure is mine.
Then we also have Mr. Raj Paul, designer, risk taker, brand developer, and the overall creative mind behind Ministry of Style. The first issue is the fact that Jamaica recently decriminalized marijuana. So persons are allowed to carry 2 ounces of marijuana, up to 5 plants they can have in their gardens or for their personal usage. And then they have the medical marijuana regime, where you can apply for a license to be able to use it for medicinal purposes. What do y'all think in terms of, do you think that Barbados and the Caribbean should follow suit? Carly first.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's about time.
Why?
Well, the medical marijuana industry is a billion-dollar industry, and Jamaica is going to really be leading the Caribbean and taking up a good chunk of that. They're one of the biggest suppliers to the U.S. and other Caribbean islands. So, I think it's an opportunity, economically speaking. You know, if we put the whole it's marijuana thing aside, it really is an opportunity.
Yeah. You know.
Decriminalizing is a big thing because when it was criminal, you created criminals out of people that are essentially not criminals.
Okay.
And so you had people in prison with murderers and rapists for an ounce of weed, right? Which is criminal in itself, right? So decriminalizing.
How much is an ounce of weed? Not that you would know.
2 ounces is 57 grams, so that's a lot of weed.
I
mean, it's a little bit of weed, but it's a lot of weed at the same time.
So when they say 2 ounces, is it like 2 splits, 4 splits?
That would be quite a very large split. I mean, remember this grass we're talking about, it is a piece of a plant, right? So 57 grams is a lot when you're talking about a plant. I think the Caribbean needs to the rest of the Caribbean really needs to get onto the whole decriminalizing marijuana because we're small island states. We have limited resources overall, so having huge prison populations with people for drug offenses is a bit backward, I think. And also, it is usually young males that are doing this, and that these people could be out working and contributing more positively to society than being in jail for that. And I think over time, I think we should go from decriminalization straight to legalization.
Lord of mercy.
And free up the police force to do other things.
The whole argument makes me think back to the issue of prohibition, which would have come about because of the Great Depression, and as we all know, or hopefully we all know, that that was when alcohol, or the consumption of alcohol, was criminalized to an extreme extent, and certain criminal elements started to come about simply because demand was always there for the alcohol, and exactly the mafia got involved in bootlegging and pushing supply. So the same thing with marijuana in the region exists. It's simply because it's criminalized. And what I would like to see, because I'm not, and I will state this definitively, not for the full decriminalization until there's proper regulation. So for Jamaica to just say, well, look, you guys can have this, that doesn't get rid of the underground elements that surely will be threatened by newer, I guess, the mom and pop marijuana stores, if you want to call it that, or marijuana production, or even the average American coming in and starting to glut the market.
I want to ask you about that though. So from an economical perspective, if let's say marijuana is legalized, obviously it opens up the gates for other persons to be able to sell it. What then happens to the persons that, let's be real, are able to send to school their children because they're selling marijuana, or support their families, etc.? What would happen to them economically? Is it good overall?
It all comes down to a regulatory burden, because if you follow Colorado's example, where you have to be filing all the time, you have to be above board, and the question is, do the people that are currently in that particular market, are they able to follow that route? Are they able to fully, within a year or so, become above board and they can comply as much as possible? And then it becomes the issue.
You know, Tony, the arguments presented, I think, are fairly convincing. And besides the arguments, there's the fact that so much is being done already, externally, internationally, that we can watch and we can learn from. There's going to be some errors that are going to be made when you're making a transition as important as this. But this is the time. This is what's happening. This is not going anywhere. This is what's happening.
He said it. Let her go on the record.
When you're given all the legwork that's been done already, where it's happening in Holland for ages, and it's not happening in the States, and Paraguay is completely convinced that it's the best thing forward, and so on. And it also is part of the Green Revolution, really and truly. The whole eco move, this is really on the end, to me, of it, but this is part of it. And this is where we are. So Do we get involved or not? Do we follow? We don't have to follow. We could just look at what's going on and make a decision ourselves. It's not a matter of following anybody.
You hear that, Warren?
It's not a matter of saying Jamaica did it so we can do it next or anything like that. It's a matter of saying there's evidence about what's going on, there's change taking place. Let's look at it and see if there's benefits that we could gain from it.
Are you for it, yes or no?
For the decriminalization of marijuana, yes.
Yes or no?
With proper regulation, yes.
Yes or no?
Good education, yes.
Recently we had a situation in Barbados which had polarizing views. A person went missing, allocation of resources were applied, and I personally found that a lot of the responses by my fellow Barbadians were really disgusting. I just wanted to get your take on how Bajans really behaved in relation to that whole situation.
So this Karen Harris went missing and the recovery effort.
Man, no man, you know, we try to be diplomatic. Yes, you know.
Struck for the record.
Yeah, strike for the record. Alright, I was not in Barbados, sorry. So I saw all this through social media and then one or two WhatsApp groups I'm in. I found it interesting because I saw the posters on my timeline very early. It was the evening, which is not strange. Somebody goes missing, yeah. After going for our jog, you don't see them in 2 hours, you know, and you try to call them, you don't reach them. You start to freak out a little bit, and then you start to put things in motion to help find them and what's not. To me, that was not particularly strange. I think what started the polarizing aspect of it would have been what was seen as a very, very rapid response by the official
Public
government
officials, yeah, public
entities, police force, the BDF particularly, because people were like, wait, in less than 24 hours mobilized and whatnot. I think that's where the polarizing aspect started to come.
I want to comment on what you said about the police force, because I think in a way they were damned if they did and they were damned if they didn't, because they only got involved, in my understanding, later Saturday afternoon. So they didn't jump in Friday night, they didn't jump in Saturday morning. They jumped in, I would say, close to the 24-hour mark. Without me having 100% statistics, I do believe that's what happened. I also think if they didn't jump in at that time, there are 300 people out looking for someone with drones and horses and bikes, and if the police force doesn't get involved and they sit back, they would have had criticism. So either way, they were down, I think.
I do love the togetherness of the community. I love the fact that they wanted to solve the problem and they just did not wait with, you know, hands open, waiting for people to rescue them. I just hope that all of us in Barbados that are suffering this recession could do the same thing. We can borrow from that experience.
I want to add something to that. Toni Thorne, you went missing, I would go looking in the cave with you, you know. Honestly. I joined this search, and there's two reasons why. One is that I do know the person. The second is that there was already a search by her immediate family being organized. So if there wasn't already a search being organized, would I have gone of my own accord to walk by myself? Probably not. Let's be honest.
But you wouldn't know where to start anyway.
I wouldn't know where to start. Exactly. I'd be like, I may, you know, say a prayer, reach out to family, but maybe not actually physically. You know.
It honestly has been a real great pleasure speaking to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that this discussion, you know, continues outside of the show, outside of, you know, everything, and we really spark some national debate on some serious issues and some obvious realities.
Yeah, make some moves forward, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. One more tea.
Stop, Ashley. Over this last weekend, I went with. Okay. Benji, we ready? So just keep her quiet, yeah? You're doing a great job. Welcome back. Here with. Wait, hold on.